I love this song, by the way. One of the many. I'm just waiting for the official thumbs up.
But you're here not yet. This feeling that I feel.
Love listening to the music though while we're checking.
Yeah, come on,
great.
check it out. Check it out.
Check it out. I don't see it yet.
Time is money, baby. Time is money.
Not as of yet. Not as of yet.
I want you. I know not to, but I got to. I don't want to, but
all right, let's see.
Are you on that?
Yeah, we are now live. Thank
we
you.
are now live.
We are now live. There we go.
I love it. Everybody smile.
So I'm going to start a watch party. So let's see what we got here.
You got it. We are live on Facebook, everybody. And we've got another future superstar with us here tonight. And I love this. You know how I love talking to all these people. Sometimes they say I talk too much.
Never.
And it's Clark, Skip Happens, Deb Lamphear, the president of the official country music fan club. And they're based right here in Syracuse. And the young lady, actually, I guess it's my left as I look at the screen. Maybe it's different for you. I don't know how this is coming out on the screens tonight. We've been having all sorts of problems.
No, we're fine.
I want y'all to say hello to Camille Rae. There she is. Hello, Camille. Yes.
Welcome, welcome.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain too much. I've been a little bored. I've been eating a lot of junk food. I've been trying to work out, every other 3 or 4 days, just to get cookies. But other than that, everything's great.
So the working out thing isn't really going all that good, or?
I've never been one to work out much. I just hate it with all my heart. So I have not been doing it much.
I know. I haven't done it at all. Matter of fact, I felt guilty because I looked at my phone. You know how you have the fitness tracker on your phone, and it said I was supposed to have like 6,000 steps by a certain time. I only had like 954.
No good. No,
yeah, it's not good.
I think everyone's just it's just been a weird time.
Yeah, isn't it weird though? I think it's getting weirder, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It's I don't know. It seems like people are more on edge. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of everybody wants to get back to work. I think people are starting to realize they got no income right now. Some people, then there's a lot of people without jobs.
Yeah.
And it's starting to reality is starting to set in.
I don't really know how to feel about it because I want to be safe on one hand, but then again, I know how many people are suffering. Like you said, their jobs are gone and their income is really suffering or not there at all. So it's like a double-edged sword. So it all resolves soon so people can get back to as much normal as you can.
You hit it right on the head. You hit it right on the head, though. We got to be safe. We have to be safe. You've got to find that balance. And I don't think we found that balance yet. So.
No. I mean, it's really hard to know what to do in a situation like this. So I try to just not say much because I don't like to get into arguments and I'm not very political. So I can't intelligently a lot of things. But yeah, I just want everyone to be safe and healthy, and so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Are you in Tennessee or are you elsewhere with family or friends?
I'm in Nashville right now.
I heard they're starting to lift a few rules or places.
They've been decently strict here, but not as strict as some other places. So I think we're going to start opening restaurants this week and maybe retail in the middle of the week or next week. I think limited, whatever that means. Like there'll be follow, but they're going to start opening back up soon, I think.
What about like beauty salons and if somebody wants to get a haircut? Long overdue.
Send him down there.
Yeah. The lighting in this room doesn't show the need for. I don't want to talk about that.
My wife is like flipping out over that. She went over to one of the local stores and went in to try to find hair dye, and it didn't go very well. She came home pretty upset because she couldn't find any. So
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I went to the store a couple of days ago because I love to eat salads. I do anyway. Like
mhm.
I probably put way too much dressing on whatever. It's not a healthy salad, but it's a salad. But I went and all the salad material is gone from the grocery store, so everybody has the same idea. It's just crazy.
So they don't want to exercise, so they're trying to eat lighter. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Less
trying to make
calories.
it yeah.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. I don't know if we're all eating like we should be anyways right now. We're all running to the fridge. I ate it like a bowl of chocolate, the Hershey Kisses. My wife Nan's had them out on the counter. It's just like it's too readily available, and
Well, we're all extremely. I'm bored, and my work at home is always booking and finding to co-write and just actually like interacting and with people, which is really not possible right now. So I'm kind of like at a loss of what to do from my normal schedule, and then being on the road, that's not a thing right now. So, but now our Facebook lives have been good and interacting with people that way. So it's been a different experience.
We have to thank God that we have the technology that we have for people like you. Right now, it's pretty much your only way to reach out to the fans and maybe even get some new fans.
Yeah.
Without the technology, you wouldn't be able to you'd be just sitting on the couch twiddling your thumbs.
Oh yeah, it would be very, very bleak without technology, which I complain about it because I don't like to have to. I've never been big on social media, not because I just don't understand it. I've not been. It's not my forte, but it's definitely been a lifesaver in these past couple of weeks or a month or so now. It's been over a month.
Oh, at least.
Yeah, we're almost 2 months into this.
Yeah. I know what day it is.
I know exactly. Every time I go on the air every day, I say, you know what day it is? Today is Monday. I have to look at the calendar myself and go, it's Monday. That's what I was doing today. So no, it's today. Yeah, today is Monday. Yeah, there I go. Today's Monday. Hey,
one day just rolls right into the next.
Yes, they just keep going and going and going. Tell us a little bit about you. I know we met a couple of years ago. You were in town. You did a showcase with us, and we had some fun. But I'm sure there's been a lot going on since then. You've been, up until this situation. But tell us a little bit about what's been going on with you.
Well, when I stopped in the station, I had a showcase a couple years ago. I think I can't remember which single it was. It was either But I Want You or I Need Me. And that was off of my second album. So I worked that album for a little while. And then I had some change in management and kind of did some rebuilding. And in the past couple of years, I've been working on, new music. Last August, I released an EP, kind of more of a country Americana feel. And some new music out there. And I've been working in, it's a duo, but it's also a collaboration project called Calamity Jane.
Oh, I love it.
And with Lucy Cantley, and she plays the violin. And then we're just looking to do some really awesome collaboration with artists in Nashville. And we have a new single coming out. And we did a cover of Devil Went Down to Georgia, where she played the violin, and it was kind of the music video with kind of a story of her journey as a violin player, going from classical to the country scene, and kind of the more not reading from sheet music kind of thing.
Right.
Journey of hers. She asked to be featured as the vocalist, and then from there we kind of built, and we've created a group, and so there's a lot of cool stuff going on, and the years. I mean, there's a lot of exciting things coming on the horizon. So
yeah, I can't wait to see you out on the road and to get you back up here in the Northeast. And between us and you go see our friends up in Watertown, we route you through. We got a lot of friends. You've got a lot of friends here. Let me put it that way.
New York was my and I'm not saying it still isn't, but as far as radio and airplay, it was my biggest market when I was on. I had some stuff out, so yeah, and it was so much fun. And we always do the showcase with Stan, the monthly showcase up at Froggy.
Yep.
And Watertown, and then of course stop back by through to you, and it's always beautiful up there, especially in the fall. So.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time of the year in the fall. It's supposed to be beautiful right now. It's spring, so things are kind of changing here, but we don't see much of it right now. So
they do. We don't. They do.
they're getting there. How long have you been actually playing music, Camille?
Oh gosh, I've been singing since I was literally 3 years old, and then playing guitar and writing music when I was 12 is when I started playing.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Just you haven't looked back. Were you like, did you sing in church and do all that?
That's where I started, was church
Were
and
you?
school choir and talent shows, and
Yeah.
all of the little community gatherings.
That's our Camille. That's Camille.
It's a little girl who sings.
I love it. I love it.
So what was the turning point where you decided you wanted this to be a career move?
Oh, it was never a turning point. I've always wanted it since I was 3. I've never not wanted it. So
Okay.
whole life has pretty much been about, I've had, taken different paths, gone down different roads for different things. But it's always been a focus. It's always been a goal, is to make this a professional career since I was tiny. Yeah.
Oh.
She knew what she wanted to do from the get-go, right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And you're doing very well at that. So you're living in Nashville. You got your own little place. Is that? Yeah. So do you have any pets or anything like that to keep you company?
Well, I had a cat for a little while, and she was not about being inside. So I gave her to friends that have like a farm so she could play and do be a barn cat. But I really want a puppy. So I'm thinking on getting a dog. But
I hope it will travel with you.
It's easier because I'm home all the time. But then once everything lifts and I can go on the road again, we'll see.
It's a lot of work, but they're a great companion. So
I love animals.
Yeah, we have 2 here. I have a yellow lab, and also we have a rescue, black-mouth cur or something. I'm not really sure, but the rescue is awesome. And of course, we got a yellow lab, and they get along great. What's that?
I said I've always wanted to rescue, so I've been looking at the Nashville Humane Society.
Cool.
And Miranda Lambert is her organization for pets out there, or was she elsewhere? And I can't remember.
I don't know. I didn't know she had an organization. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it might be more like in Oklahoma or somewhere. I thought it was in the Midwest. I might be entirely wrong, but I believe it was.
No, you're probably right. They're there every year at CMA Fest, and she is able to get homes for hundreds of animals.
Oh.
So but that's awesome. That's awesome. So do you book even though we're not traveling or anything right now, do you have shows booked for the last part of the year that you're just waiting to see what happens?
I was pretty well booked through up until October. And I'm just waiting to see when I can tour again. So, I'm working on shows for the fall and trying to get them booked up, but it's also kind of an iffy subject to email too many venues right now because they're struggling.
Right.
Make them mad. So I'm trying to figure out when's a good time to reach back out and see how people are doing and try to get the fall schedule. But I do have, always have shows on the books. Really to be able to do this full time.
See, because that's the hard part, because we have to decide, should we move forward and continue to make plans and back off the plans if they can't happen, or should we just wait until we can make plans? But then if you wait until that, then places may be booked.
There some places, it doesn't hurt to reach out. You just have to be kind of tactful sometimes about how you communicate. But there are some people that are very responsive and looking positively toward opening back up as soon as they can. So,
it's gonna be tough.
I'm safe that it's good to go for the summer and the fall, and everybody's back on track.
Yeah, I was looking at your website earlier today, and I looked at all your dates, and I went, "Wow, this girl is really booked. You're like back to back to back."
Yeah,
pretty much the majority of the summer, like you said, leading up into the fall, and I'm thinking, all right, now this happened, so it's a financial burden on everybody, whether it's the club, or the venue, or you as the artist. This is, it's just such a big burden for everybody.
It really is, and I'm very blessed to have an amazing support system. that has helped me through
Good.
financial crisis, because if I didn't have this tribe of people, then I would be in a position right now.
Mhm.
And it makes me sad, worries me for a lot of my friends that are artists or that are independent entrepreneurs that have completely lost income. And of course, we have the unemployment. That's kind of tough to get through too. And
Yeah.
luckily, that's all been worked out on my end, and I'm getting aid there. But it's tough, and so I read something the other day that we all are in the same storm, but we're not in the same boat.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Someone may be like completely down and out with no income right now, and they're and having to isolate themselves alone.
Mhm.
Then there could be someone that's still working from home and getting to spend time with their families, and this is more of kind of a breath. So it's just keeping in mind that everyone's in a different situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask, and I don't really need to know everything here, but you as an independent artist, this is your career, this is your job, this is your employment. You're able to get that unemployment.
The way that it worked, because it's kind of a complicated thing, but I've worked part-time jobs as well. Part-time jobs. I worked at David Bridal. I was a bridal consultant.
Uh-huh.
And when I didn't have as many shows, and so because I had those part-time jobs over the past 18 months, they went back and determined my employment amount on those jobs.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, the stimulus of up to $600 a week that they'll give you on top of it right now for the next 3 months. So I was just fortunate and lucky that everything went through okay.
Good.
But I know a lot of people that it's not happening for. So I don't know if it's the system or there's just so many people applying and I got lucky. But
I think there's just way too many people applying right now. Not enough people to handle the input of inputting all the necessary information into the system. I think it's just the backlog, and it's going to take a while. I know here in New York,
I had those, like I said, those couple of like small jobs that I worked for a couple of months, and if I hadn't had those in the system, then I probably wouldn't have approved, because it's just harder to do. So I don't know. I'm feeling really bad for my friends that it still hasn't been approved, and I can't even imagine what the people on the other end of things are having to deal with right now. So.
Right.
I know, as bad as we have it, because we're on the receiving end.
Yeah.
Like what you were just saying, the folks that have to handle all of those claims and all of that, I truly feel bad for them too, because they're working 7 days a week, 24/7, and they can't work fast enough.
Yeah.
Well, we've never had this type of situation. But getting back to you, Camille, a great artist, and you're putting out a lot of music. You've already you've got 1 or 2 albums out there. You've had singles on the radio. I know we played it on the Wolf, and the new music is coming out. Tell us about where do you write all your own music? Are you doing all this by yourself? Or do you go to a writer's night and there's a bunch of you that sit around and throw ideas out on the table?
Well, actually, I've already dropped my last EP. So I have the new EP out on Spotify, and it's called This Time. But as far as for the past, since I came to see you, a little after that, like I said, I changed management, and I've just been doing everything myself for the most part for the past 2 or 3 years. So I write a lot of my own stuff, but I also have, co-writes here and there. And so 3 of the songs are co-writes on my new project, and then 2 of them are ones that I wrote by myself. So I try to at least be a co-write. My second album, I had a lot of songs that I licensed from other writers, which was a cool experience. But this time around, I wanted to keep it in the family, keep it a little more simple, and just kind of give credit to those amazing writers that I've had the experience to write with. But yeah, it's been a different journey the past few years, because I have been doing everything myself, but it's also taught me a lot. It kind of opened my eyes to parts of the business that I hadn't.
Right.
Yet.
Being an independent, though, you'd much rather do what you're doing than be on the other side? I mean, the independence, it's a lot of work for you. If you're doing it all by yourself, the bookings and determining what you're going to release as a single and putting your EP together and all that, that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It's honestly, as much as I love it, it's been a big toll on my brain. I feel like my brain is mush most of the time.
That's when you go and get a glass of wine and when you just got to regroup.
That hurts after so many glasses. But yeah, I mean, it was liberating to be able to say, hey, I want this song and I want this cover art, and it's all my decision. And it also gives you the accountability for yourself. Like, if it flops, it's completely my fault. I can't blame anybody else.
Right.
But I am very aware that you definitely need a team to make it go more smoothly and get you where you want to be. I'm on the lookout for some new team members, for new management all the time, and just finding the right people to work with. So
I don't think
the right people.
Yeah, I don't think people realize you as an independent, that the financial burden that's placed upon you as well. I mean, you don't have anybody backing you up. You're doing this yourself. You're working jobs. You save money in order to promote yourself.
That is the thing. This business is very expensive, and you do have to pay. Everything costs something. I mean, you can't just say, "Hey," I mean, you have to pay people to do the work. And you can do it yourself, but there's also some things you just can't do yourself. You have to outsource, and that's about budgeting. And I've along the way, I've had angel investors pop in and help me. I did a Kickstarter for my last EP, and it came through one and it supported me just beautifully, and that helps you see the community behind you and people believe in you and your music, which is just amazing. And it I don't know, it makes you stick with it, because there's so many times just quit and gone teaching. But
I mean, this is great.
If you're meant to do it, then you're going to wake up the next morning and you're going to figure it out. You're going to think outside the box a little more, and you're going to keep going, keep making good music. And success is determined in different ways. I would love to be signed by a major label and have someone take over everything and be on the big scale and be touring the world and all of that. And I'm saying that I wouldn't, but it's pretty cool to be able to do this for a living full time and get out there and inspire people, even just a little bit.
Right. Exactly.
So to get on a label, if that's a goal of yours down the road, what are some of the best ways to approach that? Are there showcases that are specific to artists with label reps there, or do you have to go knock on doors and hand your music?
What? I have no idea.
I love it. That's okay.
I hate to say this, but sometimes
there's definitely different ways. A lot of funding is a big thing. It's a big factor, which is a whole other ball game. But you can hire people to get your portfolio ready and pitch to labels.
Yeah.
But a big thing is just making your presence known, and streaming is big right now. Spotify. Big thing right now. So if a label is just going through new artists and they see your song that has organically reached millions of streams, then they're like, we can't deny that song is good and that people like it, so we're going to check this person out. So I mean, it's just showing up, and like I said, funding is great, and having funding behind you compels labels to work with you, because the less they have to spend in the first few years, the better. If you have any backing, that's great, but that's not what it's all about either. It's about showing that you have a good product that people want to listen to, and just being in the right place at the right time, and working with the right people that have the right pull, and then also really you as an artist, and you're not just money to them. You're not just a client. You're actually they believe in and want to push forward as well.
That whole business side just totally intrigues me. I have this whole business thing in my brain.
I'm the fun guy. She's the business lady. I'm like so disorganized, and she's so organized.
No, I've doing everything, but like I said, my biggest weakness is I can, I write all kinds of songs. I've got things kind of in the vault to let release, but I don't know when, how necessarily to do that the best way. So yeah, my business props aren't the greatest, but I do my best. But
they'll come around though. One of the things about you going and doing this on your own independently, in my eyes, is you now know what you expect from your brand and your product. So when you do hire that team and when you bring those people on, they're doing a job for you, but you know now how it works and what your vision is, and they'll go out there and do that for you. So by doing it yourself a little while through, you've had that on the job training, so to speak. So now your job will be out there to promote your music and get your songs out there. They're going to be out there promoting you and your brand and all that other stuff. So great training.
It's really hard for someone to ride nowadays, because I've it's like, no, I know that that's not how that works, or I know that that's not true, or I could do it a different way, or you're just trying to take my money. And so you learn the hard way a lot of times in any business that you
business.
Yeah. So yeah.
We've been in business 25 years. We've learned the hard way about 10 times already. So, and every time you learn something more and you're educated more, but that makes you a stronger person, a better person, and your business will be better in the end.
Exactly.
So, but that's what, that's when you meet people like us. We're here to help get you out there and get your music out there and get your face out there.
I found those core tribe members. I call everybody my tribe. It's in my little family.
I love it.
Radio has been, I know I haven't had any singles out on radio for a few years, but these radio people are pretty awesome. So.
Well, we think you're pretty awesome, because we support, I think, for a market like Syracuse and the radio station that I'm at, being locally owned and locally operated, I pick the music. Of course, we got to play the big artists and this and that, but we also have an opportunity to play a lot of the independent artists like yourself. And people like you need to be heard, and you need to be seen. And that's the only way you're going to get ahead. And other people need to give you that nod as well to be seen and heard. So I firmly believe in that. I do. Stan in Watertown does. It's just the more we could do for our independent artists, the better. It's not an easy road. We know that.
Much appreciated on our end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got a lot of friends that are doing what you're doing, and I also have a lot of friends that do the radio stuff. And it's very competitive for us as well at times. So we know that. Let's talk about you having fun. What do you do for fun? Oh, well, right now you're not doing much. I get that.
Well, right now, I like to actually my boyfriend and I have been playing pickleball.
Pickleball.
Well, it's kind of like a mix between badminton and tennis, and it's got the little the little wiffle ball with the holes in them.
Yeah.
And you do like a wood paddle and you get over the fun. So that's fun. That's something fun. Besides thousands of years of TV.
Have you been binge watching anything? Well, you've been
watching. I hadn't watched Breaking Bad, and we finished that last night. And we did the Tiger King.
What'd you think of that?
Yeah.
Did Carol feed him to the tigers?
Oh, for sure. Like, there's no doubt.
I'm 100% with you.
Pretty smart on her part. They still haven't figured it out. So, let's see, what else have I watched? I've watched a lot of stuff. I can't even remember. And I get really sad when it's over. That's what it makes me mad when the series is over. What am I gonna do now?
I feel the same way.
Yeah, but there's a lot of it out there. There's a lot.
We gotta find another one.
I don't know. It's a lot of work to find a good series that I'm excited about.
Well, we've resorted to kind of watching. We're watching Cheers all over again. We're old, but
Yeah, but that's a great show. That never. It's like Friends. It never gets old.
Well, Cheers is not on regular TV. It's not being rerun or syndicated anywhere. So we're watching it on Netflix, and I've never really watched it from the beginning. So it's a great way to end our evening.
It's on Netflix.
It is on, yeah.
And Deb knows this, but my wife has been binge watching How to Get Away with Murder, which is yeah, exactly. I saw it. Exactly.
Watch out on that one.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I know. I'm looking over my shoulder every minute. She's taking notes. No, but she's doing that. It's on every chance she gets. She's got it up on Netflix. So season after season, episode after episode, season after season. So it's kind of cool. So is there anybody that anything that really sticks out in your career being a female artist, being on stage with somebody, just that moment? Has there ever been like this really just big moment that you will never, ever, ever, ever forget?
I'd say my biggest memory, like performance wise, I opened for Maddie and Tate 2 or 3 years ago, and it was just me and a cajon player, and I came out on stage and nobody knew who I was, and I started singing, and everyone was just very engaged. It was very intimate. It was a big crowd, but it was very intimate, and that was really cool. That's probably my favorite performance. But recently, I met Tia Sillers, which wrote "I Hope You Dance."
Oh yeah.
And I went to one of her. It was like a daytime showcase of her and some of the writers that she works with at Third and Lindsley here in Nashville.
Love that place.
And she wrote "Chills" on my second album. She wrote that song with Lindsay L. and Fred Willem. Anyway, I went to see her because she's just one of my role models.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see her sing songs, and she's written like 3,000 songs and songs all over the place, and she's had an amazing career and still going strong. And so I got to meet her and talk to her, thank her for the song that was on my album, and hear her story. It was really special. So that was probably one of my bigger moments in the past year or two.
Very cool.
Getting to know her. So yeah.
And there will be many more.
Yes, and you'll keep going. That's cool. You know, I know you pulled your guitar out there. I was going to ask you to play something, but I think this connection, every once in a while you cut out a little bit. So if it's all right with you, I mean, we'll just keep on chatting. Is that cool?
That's fine. I have probably a good 10 more minutes here for you. Is that okay?
You got a what?
Like 10 more minutes?
Yeah. What? Oh, that's what you got left in your
in her appointment book. Yeah.
Oh, that's all the time I get?
What time is it?
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
well, by us, it's almost 9:00.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're an hour behind because you're in Nashville. We're talking with Camille Rae, as you can see on your screen if we're live on Facebook. And, of course, if right now, because we are live, if you have any questions, just put them there. We'll see them, and I can slide them on over. For example, I don't know if Camille knows this. This is what I can do. Hang on. This is really cool. You may know this person, but I can go like this. See? And it's just Jennifer with a little wave.
Hi, Jennifer.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, I got people that just want to say hello to me. Hey, Skip. And then let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, yeah. Then I have these people that go, hey, Skip, how are you holding up with the virus? So I'm good. Thank you. But no, I'm just showing you, though, people, they can do that if you have a question, and then we can slide it on over. And if anybody, we have a lot of this whole area is very, very heavily into the country music scene. We have a lot of local artists that are really, really, really good. I got to say, some of these people, I'm really surprised that they haven't actually made the move. And, I don't, you could disagree with this or you could agree with it, but I feel if you're going to, you have to move. You have to go to Nashville. You have to get out of this area, go to where the action is, get in front of those people that matter. So.
Yeah, you do. It's kind of ironic though, because you moved to Nashville and you do have to make those connections and establish yourself in Nashville, but then they want you to get out on the road. So
you're here now, go.
Fan base. So yeah, it's kind of confusing, but it is very important to get your name established in.
Right. And how long ago did you move to Nashville?
It'll be 7 years in September. of dishes. So
7 years, you said?
7 years.
Wow. And how was it when you first moved? You left home. You probably left everything behind to go to Nashville.
Well, it's actually it is a pretty cool story. I remember when I was younger, like college years, probably maybe high school years. Like I said, I've been singing and doing this since I was born.
Mhm.
But I pitched a couple of things to a label rep. I don't know. I can't even remember the names now, but they told me that I was great, but I needed to have some life experience before they could take me seriously. And I definitely have that now, like too much of it, like a lifetime movie's worth of it. But yeah, so when I moved to Nashville, I was actually married, living in Canada, and I moved here and I was still married for a little while, and then we ended up divorcing because we went just separate ways. And when I moved here, I really literally had like it just a couple, like maybe $500 to my name, and I moved in with a friend to let me stay on the couch. She had a spare room, but she let me stay with her for about 6 months while I got on my feet. Bless her heart, she's an angel. And I worked like 3 jobs. I worked at a petting farm. I know. I worked as a voice teacher, in music education, and then I was a hostess, I had all kinds of jobs, and then I would go out in the and do open mic. And the singer-songwriter community is amazing here. That's where I got my start, was just going to every open mic I could find every night of the week and sharing my songs and getting within that community, which I'm very glad I made the choice to do that. And yeah, I just made connections from there, started co-writing with people and getting paid gigs in town, and then I eventually got management and started booking shows outside of Nashville. So, but yeah, it's pretty one of those classic. I've sold everything that I have, and I'm moving to Nashville with a tiny little car full of stuff. Dog. Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't have to sleep in your car to start, so that worked out well.
I can say that I've never had to sleep in my car. I've had like I said, an amazing support system. Even at my brokest moments, I never had to sleep in my car. So.
That's excellent. That's excellent. That's a great story. How hard is it to get a paid gig in Nashville? Because you got so many artists there, and you got so many venues too. You got the little clubs, you got the honky tonks. You go down on Broadway, you got a lot of those clubs. But most of the Nashville people like yourself don't go down to Broadway, and I don't blame you. Even I show up a couple times a year. I don't go down to Broadway much unless I want to pick up a souvenir for my son or something. But
exactly. I don't ever really go, maybe for a birthday or something, or if I have a show. Honestly, don't sing a lot on Broadway. I have a once a week acoustic show at Old Red downtown, which is really fun. Excuse me. And it's during the day. There's a lot of families there. It's not the crazy drunk people everywhere kind of scene, which is fun, but it's refreshing to have people that are actually listening to you sing and just wanting to hear songs you've written. But anyway, as far as getting paid gigs in Nashville, it's tough. It's not as tough for musicians. I mean, I'm not. There's more musicians and people out all the time, and if you're a good musician and you show up and you're dependable, then you can just literally create a band in 5 minutes in Nashville. That's everybody knows all the songs, and you don't have to rehearse most of the time.
Sure.
But as far as singing goes, as far as the head or the headliner, or what is it called, frontman of the band, it's a little tougher because people definitely feed all over their territory on Broadway. So I've not really had a lot of full band gigs down there, maybe 1 or 2, just because I've not taken the initiative to try too hard to make any more mad at me.
Do you have any favorite places that you like to play in Nashville at all? Like not even necessarily downtown, but even on the outlying areas?
I love Old Red is my favorite place down. It's really nice.
Cool.
They treat everyone. It's just a great place to play, and they're really respectful of their artists. I like playing the listening room's always a great place to play.
Yeah.
and they have like the full band showcase. One's called the Bus Call, and it's at the Tin Roof locations, in Montbriand and downtown.
Mhm.
I think Thursday night, maybe Friday night. I don't remember exactly. So long since it happened around here. And then, of course, Whiskey Jam. You always want to try
Oh,
to
yeah.
whiskey.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and then there's some places. What's it called? It was called the Country. Now it's called the Local, and it's a really cool place to play. It has a lot of rounds and things.
Yeah, we went to the Local.
When we were down in February, yeah.
Yeah, we went over there to see somebody sing, and we hung out there for a little bit. So that was kind of cool to see some of the locals and people like yourself. You know, they were spotlighting certain people that night, and we just happened to stop in because we knew somebody was playing there. So it was a cool place. I love those places when they're small like that, and it's just the whole atmosphere is so cool, so cool.
Yeah, it's and that's if there are tourists in town and they stop and ask where they should go. I tell them to not that Broadway's not or it's not fun, but if they want to see up and coming people in the business,
Right.
they should go down on in Midtown and see all the rounds and original music happening around town.
Right. What about your band? Tell us about your band. Do you have a band that you're with all the time? You got the same guys behind you, or how does that work?
I would love to have them with me all the time. Unfortunately, just because I can't always pay them what they deserve, I have to do a lot of solo. But I do have a band, and when we perform together, we're Camille Rae and the Rae Bands. And I did a few cruise residencies, cruise contracts in Norwegian on the journey. So we sang every night for 3 months together, and it was a blast. And so they're so talented. They just blow my mind, and they're my family. They're great guys. But I wish one day I will be able to play with them every day. But I book them as much as physically I possibly
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have the money to pay them. I totally understand that. And sometimes you're not making a whole lot of money when you go out and do these things. So,
but yeah, I mean, it just depends on the budget, and which I totally understand. Where everyone's trying to make a living and do their thing. So, but I take
tip jar out. Put the tip jar out.
Yeah.
So when did you do the cruise gig? Maybe I was on that cruise.
Alaskan cruise back in 2008. No.
Nope, I wasn't there.
It was 2019. I did an Alaskan cruise from April to June.
Wow.
And then we did one this past winter from the end of October to January.
Really? Well, how was that experience? Did you like that?
It's a little different than you would imagine. I mean, there's different brackets of performers on ships. So you have the crew. We were crew. We were just part of the entertainment department. We get more privileges, and it's not like it's a bad deal. We get to go out for it to the beach. We're spoiled. It's not. But then there's also guest entertainer spots, which is people that come on the show for a couple of weeks, and they just have a couple of shows a week, and it's just a whole different ball game. It's a culture. Ship life is a culture. You have to know what you're getting yourself into. The first residency was a lot tougher because it was kind of a culture shock for us. As an independent musician, I've been self-employed for the past almost 7 years, doing whatever I want, booking whatever shows I want, hiring whoever I want. No one really tells me what to do. I have to go by, venue rules and, be a good human being. But as far as like people telling me what I need to do and where I need to be, it's my choice. So being on a ship is like a corporation. And so you have bosses, people watching you and telling you what to do all the time. And so that was a bit tough for me, but more so for my band because they're a little bit more on the rebellious side. So. Yeah.
Well, there it goes to show you that you just really like being your own boss, really.
Exactly. And I mean, but it's really good. It's really good money. It's steady pay, which musicians
right,
especially in the winter time. those last couple of months of the year is just bleak for us, and touring and things getting canceled. And so it's a good experience. You meet a lot of great people. There's always a lot of just talented, amazing people in the theater department, and you kind of broaden your horizons, not only with the places that you go, but the different people from different parts of the world that you meet. And so I wouldn't take it back for anything. I really had a great time this past time with him on the ship.
That's great.
How did you get that gig?
Well, the first time around, I was on Gig Finder on Facebook, just kind of browsing, and I saw advertisement to audition. And so I asked the band if they wanted to give it a shot, and they're like, why not? And so we auditioned and we got the spot. Nice. And once you're in with the cruise line, then actually it's kind of weird. This is the weird part. Once you're employed by Norwegian, you are in their system forever.
Wow.
So we could take like 7 years off and go back, and we'd still be in the system with all of the same information, and pay everything would be the same.
That's pretty awesome.
A lot of people, that's their career, and so that they're always on a payroll, and it never stops. So once you're in the system, you're in the system. And so if they need a band, they can always call and say, hey, do you guys want to do this next 3 months? We need a band. Or actually we opened up 2 big ships. So it was a lot of inaugural events, and they wanted an artist that had a decent social media presence and had some that could, guests could look up and find out about the band before they came on the ship. And so it was a little bit more of a specified thing for that. And then they bring bands to replace us after all the inaugural events are over, and we've had a month or so with the we just kind of get acclimated and then they bring people on starting.
It's fun, enjoyable, but it's also a lot of work.
Oh, it's a
steady paycheck though, and you get to go on somebody else's dime too. Yeah, you got to love that.
Can you go back anytime you wanted? Say, let's say January came along and you felt like you wanted to go try that experience again. Do you call them?
It just depends. I mean, I can always I'm sure I could email the agency I worked with and like, hey, do you need a band to come on?
Okay.
And they either do or they don't.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's always an open door there.
Well, if you ever
I don't think we made them too mad at us. Like I said, my boys are a little rebellious, so
that's all right though.
Yeah, that's okay.
Follow the rules.
And if
you're young, you gotta have fun.
Ever need somebody to introduce the band, and you're not going to use the cruise director, I'm readily available for any of those events that you need. I'm just saying that would be a lot of fun though. And excellent. We've been chatting with Camille Rae tonight, CamilleRae.com. You can see all about her, read all about her, hear her music, which is fabulous.
Thank you. And, stuff out there. So
yeah. And are you on all the social media outlets as well? Not just the website, but you can go to.
For Facebook and Instagram, that's the ones I use the most, just at Camille Rae Music. I haven't got into TikTok yet. I don't understand. And I don't like to dance around.
I know. Yeah.
I watched a couple of TikTok videos the other day, and I was just like, what is happening?
I hear it's very addictive, so be careful.
I would have to drink all of the alcohol in my refrigerator and do a TikTok video. I just don't understand.
Yeah, my kids are into it right now, and they just say it's very addictive. You have to be careful. Like, you really have to try to put your phone down. I haven't seen that part of it yet.
I'm at the stage to where I just look at a couple of them, I just put my phone down because I don't get it.
Right.
But I'm always kind of late to the game on things like that. Because
you'll hire someone that could do all that for you, so don't worry about it.
You don't have to worry about that. Somebody
can do it for you. My head on someone else's body while they dance around and that.
There you go.
Anything coming up in the near future that we should know about?
Do what?
Is there anything special coming up in the near future that we should know about?
So,
boyfriend, anything with that?
Say that again?
Nothing. Never mind. I said boyfriend. I know you have a boyfriend. I just was asking if there's anything in the near future.
Not that I know of, but who knows? Who knows?
That's awesome.
Keep an eye on the socials, I guess. But as far as music goes, like I said, I'm in the group Calamity Jane now, and we have a new single coming out on May 15th.
Yay! Okay.
So that's pretty cool. So we're putting all that up on socials now, and I'll be sharing it on my personal page, or personal artist pages too. So that's pretty exciting. It's a really cool song. It's a cool group and cool project, and it allows us to be a collaborative group, but also do artistic things as well. So
very cool.
That's exciting. Cool. That's what I'm focusing on right now.
Great.
And they're going to send it to radio, correct?
Yes. We're going to do some promotion with it. Actually, our first single was really successful in Australia.
Oh wow!
And so we're doing some promotion over there too. So we're gonna release it and figure out all of our promotion, and you should be seeing it hit your computers soon.
I'll keep an eye out for it. You know, you got my support. You guys are great. You guys are always great. And we'd love to maybe down the road, when everything that's going on is lifted, to get you back up in the Northeast. Sure. And, we'll get you covered. We'll put you in front of some fans and some listeners. And,
that'd be awesome.
I always say it's one fan at a time. So, but,
that's true.
It's going to be pretty awesome.
I have a lot of friends in New York now from the crew. So it'll be a good little trip, and I'll come upstate and see you guys.
Absolutely. We'll get you into the podcast studio in person. So
yeah, that'd be awesome. When the world has stopped ending, we will see each other.
There you go. That's a good one.
I got it. Yeah, exactly. We normally, when we have the artists come through on the radio tours, we usually have them make a stop, and we do we're in the studio here, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, I was supposed to come up this past summer, but a show got canceled and I couldn't.
Yeah, I think
try to come see you then, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I think I remember something about that. So, well, it's Camille Rae, and check her out online at CamilleRae.com. We've been just talking about anything and everything. Camille is a independent artist in Nashville, Tennessee. Just like the rest of us right now, everybody's pretty much shelter in place. She's a little bit on the other end of it, where they're starting to open some things there. She had mentioned about going out to eat tonight, and then remembered we had this. So, no, in a good way.
I forgot it was Monday.
Yeah, I know, that's it. We don't know what day it is anymore. But their restaurants and their hair salons and their barbershops and all that are starting to reopen there. Hopefully it's not too soon, which every place is different. So we'll have to wait and see. But take care of yourself.
Thank you so much for having me. I'll have to do this again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you're a pleasure to talk to. I wish you a lot of luck. Stay safe.
Thank you so much.
And, make sure, if you're watching this, or if you watch this at a later time, make sure you check out CamilleRae.com, and also check out the Country Music Fan Club, the official Country Music Fan Club. And Deb, real quick before we leave, I always ask her this, says real quick, just so everybody knows, what do you do with the Country Music Fan Club?
So we're an organization. We promote and support all aspects of country music. We specialize, though, in bringing new artists out into the world, introducing them into a new fan base, and introducing our fans to new artists. Helps our fans get up close and personal, learning some new music, and it just is a win-win for everyone. So we have a great time. We have showcases. We have a good time, and with VIP experiences, a lot of fun. Check us out on Facebook.
There you go. That's what it's all about. Make sure you check out Camille Rae. And Camille, again, stay safe. We love you. And I can't wait to see you back in the Northeast soon.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
It is. And I want our viewers, again, I cannot say this enough. Make sure you check out the website and check out the music. Yes. And download it if you can. All right. You got to buy it. Got to support our artists as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you.
Camille, we love you.
Love you too.
Bye. Take care.